Lou Basnese is with us too. He's a young guy too.
Yeah,
He's going to cover the markets for us. Help me with my technology. You say, and I read your stuff, Venezuelan oil is overhyped.
It's completely overhyped. In the short term here, everyone thinks it's going to be the savior of the supply and bring all this new supply online. Here's the reality. The economics don't work right now. Venezuelan oil is a heavy crude that's more expensive to process. You're trading, really, it should be trading about $38 a barrel is what we're pricing at in current markets. The other thing that I think is important to understand is Venezuelan oil fields are like a classic car that's been sitting in a field for 20 years. It's valuable, but it needs a lot of updating and maintenance before we can get any supplies going. So we're talking about, on the low end, $10 to $15 billion before you can increase production by about 500,000 barrels, maybe 50 to 60 billion to get back to 2 million barrels a day. To put that in context, that's basically 2 to 3 times the annual expenses paid by Chevron or an Exxon on their own domestic production. So this is a Herculean task. I think the president is right in the long term to use this to help bring and stabilize supplies. But in the short term, it's not going to help out in terms of the oil markets and in terms of supplies to the U.S. It's not going to knock Canada and their supply to the U.S. out anytime soon because the infrastructure is just not there to get it here.
Okay. Big story today is the defense stocks.
Yeah.
All of them are up very sharply. The president wants a $1.5 trillion defense budget. That's up $500 billion by 2027. Are there any defense stocks that you are particularly interested in? Look at them go up this morning. Look.
Yeah, it's interesting here, right? So the president wants to clamp down on stock buybacks and dividends, but at the same time boost the business. I don't love a president interfering with free markets, but he's not taking that position. He's taking the position as the biggest customer of these companies, anywhere from 40 to 80% of their revenue. I think RTX Raytheon here I like the best because they make a lot of the air to land defense missiles and systems. They also sell through the U.S. to other countries as well. But I think the whole defense sector as a space is something long-term now with this current administration in place is going to do very well in this market.
Got it. Lou, stay there, please. You're with me for the hour. Lou Basnese back with me to cover the market. And he brought one of his stock picks, several actually, Halozyme Therapeutics.
Yeah, forget CES. The biggest tech conference is next week. That's the JP Morgan conference. Healthcare and biotech are way more important than these devices. A lot of people don't like the biotech risk, though, and this is why Halozyme is a low-risk biotech opportunity. They don't develop drugs. They partner with big companies that have already developed the drugs and deliver them better. So if it's an IV drug that takes 2 hours to administer, they can do it in a shot in 5 seconds. So it's a technology that's been embraced by the likes of Bristol Myers, Pfizer. They're growing rapidly, and they just signed a deal to get into the GLP-1 obesity space. So I think there's a lot of upside here, trading at only 9 times earnings. So don't tell me the market's expensive. You got something trading for under 10 times earnings, growing by double digits in an area of the market that we desperately need. It's a winner to me.
I just wonder if that stock is going to move in the next 30 seconds.
This is a big enough market cap where
your next stock pick is State Street Energy Select Sectors SPDR.
Yeah, listen, oil and energy has been the most hated commodity for far too long. I believe 2026 is the year that goes from the most hated to the most loved, and this energy sector becomes the best performer. It's the only sector in the S&P 500 that trades cheap on an absolute and relative basis at about 15 times earnings. You're seeing companies like Exxon break out to new all-time highs. This is an easy way not to have to pick the winners in Venezuela, but to pick the winners across the energy space. It holds 23 top oil and gas and energy companies.
It's got a fancy name, but the stock ticker symbol is XLE.
XLE. It's the energy sector.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
Lou Basnese, here you are. Here's your chance. People fleeing blue states. Now, that's bad for their economies, I would have thought. Is it bad for Democrats?
It's bad for their economies. I don't think the Democrats are going to look at it bad because if you look, it's mostly Republicans that are leaving. The top 3 states that were getting people are no income tax states that are Republican-led. The 5 states that they're leaving are all Democrat-controlled. So look, it's a higher concentration of Democrats in these states. They're going to be happy about that. I think it's a death spiral because their policies that aren't working economically are just going to get worse and worse and worse. So
that is one way of looking at it. I never thought of that, actually. When the Republicans leave, there's a high concentration of Democrats, so they win more elections in that state.
And they'll be happy about that.
Well, yeah, they're politicians, aren't they?
A little bit of fraud here and there, and you'll maybe find a way to pay your bills.
Okay. If you're the governor of New York State, is it bad politics to propose further restrictions on ICE or good politics?
I mean,
Does it win your votes?
I think
or
it's
lose
bad. I think it's the epitome of oxymoronic. I mean, this is the immigrations and custom enforcement right? They're supposed to be enforcing laws, and you're going to tell me as governor, you're going to put restrictions in place that make it harder for them to do their job. Get out of the way, assist them, help them. I mean, this is deeply personal to me too. And we talk about the drug trafficking component of this. I lost a brother to heroin and fentanyl overdose, lost a cousin. I'm one of 100,000+ families that have had that happen. And if we can enforce the laws here, I mean, voters voted in this last election. We wanted secure borders. The president and ICE are making that happen. This is just following through with those promises.
Good stuff. Thanks, Lou.